And for those that don't know, like when I mean psych yourself out, there's times where, Roman's veins were popping out like crazy, and you could see the new muscle separation, and ask him, "How do you feel today?" And he'd be like, "I feel flat. I don't feel any
Yeah,
pump. I don't feel like anything's happening when I lift, and I don't feel like my muscles engaging and stuff." And I told him, at that point, because their volume is pretty high, even
the
close to the show, we've kept the volume pretty high. We've only cut back basically the end of last week. The last 3 days
yeah,
is where we cut back our volume. So I told him that's likely due to just the fatigue, because I'm seeing the muscles work. I'm seeing them not just move but contract as they're moving the weight, making sure that everything is biomechanically correct and that he's staying safe. He's not going to hurt himself, and that the proper muscles have the tension on them.
yeah.
So
I
now,
mean,
how long have you done this prep? I think it was about 20 weeks.
yeah, 20, 21 weeks, 22.
Okay,
I mean, if you want to like,
so about 5 months basically.
yeah, but about 5 months prepping for like this show. The last, I would have to say, like 16 weeks, 12 weeks were like the very serious ones
Right.
where we initially, like, you told me the game plan, this is what I'm going to be doing each of the time, and
Right.
going into it.
Yeah, so kind of giving him a heads up of
Yeah.
our timeline and what it should look like, and also just during those times, hey, you know what, this was scheduled for right now. Let's reassess things. Let's assess your physique. Do we go forward to the next step, or do we pull things back, or do we have to get more aggressive? All in all, I think things went pretty much according to schedule,
Yeah.
including diet breaks. So we had a lot of time. So I told Roman ahead of time we're gonna have some diet breaks to try to keep his muscle as much as he can.
As I would say, I would ask you as a coach, like, me personally, I feel like I did not lose size. And I would per se, like most people say, when they cut, they lose their muscle. They tend to lose their size as well when they cut. But I feel like my size came out even more. My aesthetic shape came out even more with this cut going into this. Like, I grew into the show, I would have to say.
I would say yes. I would say if especially the first part of the prep, like the first 3 months, we were still adding muscle visibly. Um, Granted, you do flatten out at the end a bit,
Yeah.
and then on our refeed days, you definitely see like your muscle kind of popping out again.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe the last 2 or 3 weeks is when, obviously, you're not going to add any more than what you got,
Yeah.
but you're kind of just trying to preserve it. And because we had this extended cut, I think that is also part of what allowed you to put on some muscle initially, and then to keep it as you were going through the more strenuous part of the prep. And so the deficit wasn't too severe, because we
Yeah.
gave ourselves plenty of time and allowed the metabolism to recover during certain diet break weeks. When I say diet break, that's not a free for all. So, what you tell us in your words, how were your diet breaks? So we
My,
had like maybe 2 or 3 of them in there, where it was
my
a whole week.
yeah, my diet breaks when I was consistent there, it would have, um, I would have more potatoes. I had, I guess, like 100 grams more potatoes I was usually having at that point, because I was still on low carbs. I think you had me like on 100 grams, and on my diet breaks I was like at 200 grams
Right.
of carbs. So I would have a little bit more potatoes. I would make sure I would make room for watermelon pre-workout, and black beans pre-workout. So I wouldn't go and get, like, per se, some people have a diet break or refeed days, they go get a little treat for themselves or something that fits their macros, per se, like the coach gives them. I would rather fill that out with a micro nutrient, food dense food like watermelon that would help me fuel me for my workout.
Right.
That's what I would choose personally, and that's proven in my physique, per se, to
Yeah.
work.
And you notice immediately
Yeah.
the next day,
Yeah.
usually, how your training performance
Yeah, of
gets
course.
back to what it has been.
Yeah, it's those literally those little things that count the most. Like, I would say in my physique, like the rapid changes that it's made is prioritizing those little things. The little things are the ones that could either set you back a week ahead or a week behind.
Right.
I feel.
Mm-hmm.